March 8, 2014. On a warm night in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 prepared for what should have been a routine journey. The Boeing 777 was scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew members. Nothing seemed unusual. The weather was calm. The aircraft was considered one of the safest commercial planes in the world. Families waited for loved ones in Beijing. Passengers settled into their seats. The crew completed their final checks. At 12:41 a.m. local time, flight MH370 lifted off from the runway and climbed into the night sky. For the first few minutes, everything appeared completely normal. The aircraft followed its planned route. Air traffic controllers monitored the flight as they did thousands of others. Then came a routine communication, a simple message from the cockpit. No one knew it would be the last confirmed voice transmission from the aircraft. Shortly afterward, flight MH370 disappeared into one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. As flight MH370 continued its journey toward Beijing, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The aircraft was cruising at high altitude over the South China Sea. Air traffic controllers were tracking the flight normally. Then, at approximately 1:19 a.m., the cockpit transmitted what would become the final confirmed communication. The message was simple: "Good night, Malaysian 370. Moments later, something unexpected happened. The aircraft's transponder stopped transmitting. On radar screens, MH370 suddenly became much harder to track. At first, controllers assumed it might be a technical issue, but minutes passed. Then more minutes. There was still no contact. Calls from air traffic control went unanswered. The aircraft had seemingly vanished, yet investigators later discovered something even stranger. Military radar data suggested the aircraft may have changed direction. Instead of continuing toward Beijing, it appeared to turn back across the Malaysian peninsula. Why would a commercial airliner suddenly leave its planned route? Was it a technical failure, a deliberate action, or something else entirely? No one knew. The mystery was only beginning. As the hours passed, concern quickly turned into alarm. Flight MH370 had failed to arrive in Beijing. Families waiting at the airport were left confused and worried. Aviation authorities launched an urgent search operation. At first, teams focused on the South China Sea, where the aircraft was last believed to be flying. Search aircraft scanned thousands of square kilometers of ocean. Naval ships from multiple countries joined the effort. Helicopters, patrol aircraft, and rescue teams searched day and night. But there was one major problem. No wreckage could be found. No emergency signal had been received. No confirmed crash site had been located. Then investigators discovered new radar data. The information suggested the aircraft may have traveled far from its original route. This changed everything. Search teams were forced to examine enormous new areas. Attention shifted toward the remote Indian Ocean, one of the most isolated regions on Earth. Satellites were brought into the investigation. Experts analyzed tiny electronic signals known as satellite handshakes. These signals suggested that MH370 continued flying for several hours after disappearing from civilian radar. The mystery had become even deeper. The aircraft was gone. Yet evidence suggested it had remained in the sky much longer than anyone first believed. More than a year after flight MH370 disappeared, investigators finally received a major breakthrough. In July 2015, a piece of aircraft debris was discovered on Réunion Island in the Indian Ocean. Experts carefully examined the object. The evidence confirmed that it belonged to a Boeing 777. Later, additional pieces of debris were found along the coasts of Africa and nearby islands. These discoveries strongly supported the theory that MH370 had ended its journey in the southern Indian Ocean. Yet many critical questions remained unanswered. What happened inside the aircraft? Why did it change course? Why was no distress call ever received? Investigators turned their attention to satellite data. By analyzing electronic handshakes between the aircraft and communication satellites, experts attempted to reconstruct its final path. The data suggested the aircraft continued flying for several hours after disappearing from radar. Over time, several theories emerged. Some experts suggested a catastrophic mechanical failure. Others believed a fire or loss of cabin pressure may have incapacitated everyone on board. Another theory proposed that the aircraft's course change was deliberate. However, investigators were unable to reach a definitive conclusion. Despite years of analysis, no single explanation has been officially confirmed. The evidence revealed part of the story, but not the entire truth. More than a decade has passed since Flight MH370 vanished. Yet many of the most important questions remain unanswered. Despite years of searching, analyzing evidence, and investigating every possible lead, the complete story has never been fully discovered. MH370 became one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. The disappearance changed the aviation industry forever. Airlines and aviation authorities introduced new tracking technologies and improved safety procedures to help prevent a similar event from happening again. But for the families of the 239 passengers and crew members, the mystery is deeply personal. Many spent years hoping for answers. Some continue to search for closure even today. Across the world, investigators, journalists, and aviation experts still study the case. New theories occasionally emerge, new searches have been proposed, yet the central mystery remains. What exactly happened to Flight MH370? Was it a mechanical failure, a series of tragic events, or something investigators have not yet discovered? The truth may still be hidden somewhere beneath the vast waters of the Indian Ocean. Until definitive evidence is found, MH370 remains one of the most fascinating and heartbreaking mysteries of the modern world. A flight that took off normally, a journey that never reached its destination, and a question that continues to echo across the world. What really happened to Flight MH370?